again, fans of Forever Football Show, for our new season, our second show of the second season. We are here. I'm Alberto Sutton, and here with me I have Filippo Milani and Aaron Lane. As usual, we will cover everything from soccer all over the world, starting with the MLS and going around. We have the Champions League to talk about this week. What a week of soccer, huh?
Yeah, was very good.
What are the highlights for you?
So I think the Champions League is the most important part for this week.
Yeah. Aaron, what's your call out for the week?
Well, I definitely know the lowlights, but as with Filippo, I think definitely highlights his Champions League.
All right, we'll soon go into Sounders, but I'm going to leave with two things here. Number one, Obama is in Brazil, and the two local teams in Rio, Flamengo and Vasco, they were literally planning an entire military operation to put their jerseys in the hand of Obama, because obviously there are constraints about what you can deliver, packages or envelopes or whatever, in the hands of the president. So the president of Flamengo, Patricia Amorim, who was a gold medalist, Olympic medalist, she went wearing the jersey, took it out, and gave it to him right there.
Oh.
And the entire plan was that she was going to give the jersey when Obama landed, but then Vasco, the other team, managed to get in front of them, and through the governor and the mayor, who are supporters of Vasco, they prepared the jersey to give to Obama before that.
Oh.
So that's
so bad. I would prefer the Flamengo jersey, honestly.
I would prefer that they all got together and offered all the jerseys together rather than do
one
all
of
this
those
cinema.
split jerseys, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, now Obama has a collection of Brazilian soccer team jerseys.
Nice.
He can come back, watch the Sounders, watch the MLS, and get ready for.
Yeah.
Actually, you can watch Argentina. We were just talking about Argentina before we started the game. The next game is U.S. Argentina on March 27th. That's going to be huge.
Yeah, it's an exciting one with actually some new call-ups as well to the national team. Agudelo, who actually just scored against the Sounders to give New York the win, has gotten the call-up for that game. 18-year-old, so exciting.
Anyways, and then the second one that I'm going to say, now this one about the Sounders. Sounders is actually in Brazil. The Sounders beach soccer team. I didn't even know that we had one, but apparently they got together, created a team really quick, and they're playing the beach soccer team clubs little FIFA World Cup game in Brazil, in São Paulo actually. And Sounders just played against Corinthians, my team in Brazil. So now I'm waiting for the real
tied,
team.
right? So we're just
They
as
tied.
good as Corinthians.
Exactly, almost
It's
as
not
good.
that difficult to be like Corinthians.
Well, actually, that the way it works is that in this beach soccer tournament, ties were not the final result. So Corinthians beat the Sounders in the penalty kicks, and Sounders, unfortunately, still has no points. But interesting to know that Sounders, I think from a branding perspective, pretty good. It was all over the news in Brazil, and the other teams that are playing are teams like Sporting of Portugal, which is the base for the Portugal national team in beach soccer.
AC Milan was there.
AC Milan is there, yeah. So big teams,
Nice.
and the Sounders representing the U.S. So kudos to the Sounders administration, marketing, and everybody who started and involved the Sounders in this initiative. And let's see if they can come back with at least some tanning, because I don't think there's going to be a medal or a trophy involved in this trip.
Fair enough.
But now back to the Sounders itself.
Yeah.
Aaron, what's the summary of the two losses in 1 week?
Yeah, well, so this week we had two 1-0 losses, both tough losses to take. The Sounders playing well in both of them, creating plenty of chances that should have and potentially could have gone in. A lot of frustration in the fans about Kufo being released, especially with the chances gone missing. There's kind of some negative feelings towards the Sounders administration right now, and how all that was handled, and so just kind of some question marks over the start to this season so far.
Look, honestly, from my own opinion, I'm not going to miss Kufo that much. I think he was too slow to play in the MLS. Good player, good pace for Europe and Holland, but a little bit too slow to play in the MLS.
But still, Erin's point remains. So I didn't see the game against New York, but I saw the one with LA, and I don't know why, but maybe because they are just so afraid when they play with LA or for that whatever reason, you cannot end this game without score any goal after building at least three or four clear
Clear
occasions.
opportunities, yeah, that's true.
And so, and I don't know what is the reason behind that, but they definitely need a good top scorer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I vote for Adriano. Let's bring Adriano. We'll tell him that there is Alki Beach is sunny and that he can play beach volleyball there. And there's gonna be crazy parties all over the
I
city.
think Seattle has a powerful enough reputation to deter Adriano.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can. If he didn't enjoy Rome,
Yeah.
if he could not arrange Milan and
Yeah.
Rome, I don't think
So
Seattle would be for
you
him.
can do the same thing that I did actually. I left Rome when I was playing in Rome just to come to Seattle and play soccer
There we
again.
go. He's
Yeah.
following you.
Yeah, he can do the same.
Yeah, look, I think that the timing was what was weird in the Scufo release because
Yeah.
if it had to be done, do it sooner.
Exactly.
Finish the story. Bring someone in time to play that preseason.
Yeah.
And now I don't even know if you're gonna bring someone, but if we do, there's also gonna be the adaptation and all that.
Well, yeah, and they promised somebody before the end of the season. But the interesting thing is, and the frustrating thing is that apparently the dispute was over where they wanted Kufo to play and what role they wanted him to play in the team. And that's something you think they would have sorted out when he was first brought into the team. So there shouldn't have been any issues. So that's where it's really frustrating, especially, we've gone through this whole preseason, whereas Kufo, he was protected in the draft, where we could have left him unprotected and say kept Nasi protected,
Exactly.
who's a young player who had such a phenomenal end to the season. So
Yeah.
it really feels like kind of a waste on more fronts than just Kufo leaving.
Actually, I think you're totally right. And when things like that happen in a team, it's a very bad sign. Because come on, the coach should know that something was not good for this player, and or at least you don't allow the player to say, yeah, I would like to play there, or I would like
But
to
how
play in
different?
other place.
Like, I don't think Kufo is that versatile that he can be picking that much, or that we could be trying to squeeze him in positions that drastically different. So what
But-
was the big deal?
Well,
I think there's more than just positioning in the field. It cannot be.
yeah, I
just
mean,
that.
I'm sure there's more, but from the very little that was released was just that Kufo didn't want to be the target man, didn't want to be roughing it up with the defenders.
Yeah.
And his final season, he's 36 years old.
Strong.
Yeah, he is,
Slow.
but yeah, but see where he wanted to be doing is dropping off and helping more with the build up, which we saw with him in the
In
World Cup
Switzerland, exactly,
Switzerland
yeah,
team. That's how he plays. So, I mean, though this is a position the Sounders put him in that seems natural just because of his physique, it's not his, and it's not his natural position. So, I mean, I guess there's some.
And as usually say, Albert, that the MLS is a forgiven league. This time I think that there are too many bad signs for the Sounders, and I don't know if they can. Of course, it's just 2 games, but they really need to win the next one. If they don't win the next one, they're in a big crisis.
Look, I think that again, I think it's a forgiving league, and regardless of starting with 2 losses, last week I also mentioned that I don't think that they're too definitive. Last year we had a few losses, streak of bad losses. The first year we also had it. As long as we can find our groove again, I think we'll make it.
Yeah.
And who knows? I mean, this guy O'Brien White, he played very well against Colorado. So maybe there is a chance that it's
But
the beginning of the
his,
season.
his goal scoring is what's subject right now. So.
Well, but that's again, a lot of times the strikers is about the moment.
Yeah, but just let's remember something here. So Sounders are playing in 3 different competition, and honestly, do you think they have a good roster to handle all these 3 competition right now?
Look, I don't think the roster is that much different in terms of numbers than last year, and it showed that we didn't have enough to play all 3. I just think that this time around we should be betting on different 2 than the ones that we bet last year. I would leave I already mentioned that. I would leave the Open Cup for another time and just try to get more out of the Champions League this time around, if we can.
If they can, but
Probably,
I think
probably
that,
depending on our draw, I would say.
yeah,
Absolutely. Is that already defined who we play for the play-in?
Not yet. No.
and I think it depends also on confidence. And if this team lose their confidence, then it's gonna be big trouble, especially in a competition like CONCACAF, where you can face team from Mexico and they can really beat us bad.
All right, folks, we will go for a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the Champions League and everything that is going on in Europe. Stay with us for Forever Football.